Building a reputation in the eyes of society. That's what we're talking about here today on the Why It Matters Catholic podcast. Hi, I'm Brandon Powell. Last week we started the final paragraph of Book 1, Chapter 7 of the Imitation of Christ. Today, I'm not going to reread the entire paragraph, but I do want to remind you of one section of it. God's judgments are not the same as man's judgments. And what commends you to your fellows is not often enough the sort of thing which commends you to Him, meaning God. Think about your life and those around you. We can easily identify some events or accomplishments in life that please people or get us congratulated, building up our reputation. When someone wins an Olympic medal, we usually congratulate that person and celebrate their achievement. The birth of a child is usually greeted with congratulations, celebrations, and some sort of praise. Doing something well generally receives praise of one kind or another. Now, these are all good things that are praised by others in society. However, there are a lot of bad actions that can also earn you praise and build your reputation. If you destroy somebody in competition, then you will also get praised. Yes, you increased your market share, but you also destroyed countless jobs. Celebrating the downfall of others might earn you some praise. And it is amazing in society how often we celebrate somebody when they are, for example, an up-and-coming actor. But then we get tired of them, so we begin to become super critical. Then we celebrate their downfall, and now they're a has-been. But a decade from now, we're going to celebrate the renaissance of the same career that we cheered its collapse. What this should teach us is that the same people who praise us today will mock us tomorrow. What are some other bad actions that can build our society? What are some other bad actions that can build our reputation in society? Well, one is using others for our pleasure. How many times have you heard someone brag about the number of sexual partners they've had? Or how many salespeople have you heard bragging about the sucker they got a huge deal from? How twisted are we that using others for our pleasure earns us praise? Well, if you think about these types of things that please society and build our reputation, we need to ask what pleases God. What builds our reputation with God? What builds us up in the eyes of God? Well, Psalm 51 provides us with some guidance on this subject. It says, "For you have no delight in sacrifice. If I were to give a burnt offering, you would not be pleased. The sacrifice acceptable to God is a broken spirit. A broken and contrite heart, O God, you will not despise." The prophet Micah also adds to this when he says, "He has showed you, O man, what is good. And what does the Lord require of you but to do justice, and to love kindness, and to walk humbly with your God?" From these two verses, we see that what pleases God is a humble, repentant heart, to love kindness, and to live justly. How do we respond to this? How do we respond to realizing that God's thoughts and desires do not match our own? That what builds us up in society and increases our reputation is not what builds our reputation with God? Every person reacts differently. Mary, the Virgin Mother of God, when she realized that her plans and God's thoughts were on totally different levels, beautifully responded by saying, "Let it be done to me according to your word." On the other hand, Zechariah, the father of John the Baptist, responded in a different way. When an angel told him God was going to miraculously give him a son, he laughed in doubt. And then when we look in the Garden of Gethsemane, we see Christ's plan to die for the sins of the world conflicted with the desire of Simon Peter. And so Peter responded by trying to kill those who were arresting Jesus. Some of us respond to this realization that what we want, what we value, doesn't match God's. We respond with doubt. Why is God not providing for me this thing that I desperately want? Whether it be love, healing, a job, or something else, there's times when what we want does not seem to match what God wants, even when our desires are not sinful. Still others respond with trust, trusting that what God desires for us, for us to be holy and to live out the life that God is calling us to live so that one day we can be happy with Him forever in heaven. Some people trust that that is better than any life that we are dreaming of. The path of the world does not leave us satisfied. It leaves us broken and wounds us just as we wound others. So let's stop chasing after the praise of the world, and let us seek to please the God who sacrificed Himself for us because He loves us that much. Again, I'm Brandon Powell. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Let's be the people God is calling us to be. Let's imitate Christ. God bless.